Hello, Hillman and Spratt United Methodist Church. I'm speaking to you from the Duffield Church United Methodist Church, just outside of Swartz Creek, which is outside of Flint. If you don't know where Swartz Creek is, and I know some of you do. But Lisa had asked me to give a short little introductory thing about me. I know there was one last week, a little bit more about my history, but these are 5 things that I'd like you to know about me and things that I like to share with people, and they're things that are hobbies and interests that are mine. And the first one is science. And I kind of hinted to the fact last week that I am a biology major, and if you call psychology a science, some people call it a soft science, but I do have a degree in science, psychology as well. And I worked in the crisis hotline as a suicide counselor as well, right after I went to college. But science is something that interests me greatly, and I definitely like astronomy, not astrology, but astronomy, and I love the talk about planets and is Pluto a planet and all of that. But I'm a big fan of science, and that may put me in kind of odds, you might think, with religion, but science to me enhances my faith and enhances my religion, and it's my personal belief, and I will share some of that with you. I don't want to indoctrinate you in any of that, but it's just part of who I am. The next thing is I am a big fan of board games, and actually many kind of games, but board games especially. And if I have an open house at my house, you'll see that I'll have a whole shelf just full of board games, and there's not a monopoly amongst them. I enjoy games that are very unusual. Settlers of Catan is a big one, and other ones like that. There's a Kingdom Builders game that I've recently enjoyed, and I grew up playing role-playing games and all of that, and I just enjoy the sharing in that regard. And it's not a competitive thing for me, but just something that I enjoy, the fellowship that can be done in that. And I hope that somehow I can incorporate this in my time with the kids, that we could learn new games and spend time with each other learning things that are different in that regard. That might be a thing that we can do. The third thing I have, my friend who's here right now, Jason, will attest to the fact that I am a huge movie fan. And in fact, in January's, I love doing the January sermons on movies current at the time. And hopefully we'll have movies this coming January, but if not, we'll work our way around it, because I love pulling God's truth out of movies and talking about that, and then just applying God's truth to different things. But I do enjoy movies, and it's something that comes from my family. My brother is a big Oscars person, and he will be able to tell you when he comes up, you can list any actor or any movie, and he can tell you whether it's been nominated or not. And it's just something that's very pervasive in my family, is going to movies. And with that, I really do enjoy the Marvel movies, the Thor and the Captain Americas and the Star Trek and Star Wars and science fiction. So with that, I'm just a big action movie buff, but I do enjoy many kinds of movies. Number 4 is nature, and part of my degree in science and biology was that I took classes like ornithology and winter biology and learning about the great outdoors, and I am a great person for that, and I'll relate part of that with my next interest as well. But I love looking at birds and flowers and plants and seeing things, and I just really enjoy the outdoors and taking walks and even hiking and camping outdoors. There's just nothing better about that I can imagine. And I know coming up to that part of Michigan is just going to be a thrill for me. The last one is travel, and I've visited 4 countries in my life, and 2 of them were not United States or Canada, as you would guess. Australia and New Zealand are two places that I've been, and I was known then for my love of outdoors and love of birds and ornithology, and so when we were in New Zealand looking for the kia, which was a bird that is native, is a parrot-like bird that's native to New Zealand, and all the people in my group were very interested, and so I became the kia expert. And we're not talking about Kia the car, it's a K-E-A, the bird. And it's just something that is part of my life. But I have a great interest in visiting several parts of Africa and going to Israel for the first time and visiting several places in England, and I would love to go to China, but most of that stuff might not happen. But I have a great interest in many parts of the world, and in fact, part of my belief is the more the things that make you different from me, the more I'm interested in you. So I will embrace getting to know all of you and all the various forms and likes and differences that we have. So I hope that you have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you in a few days when I move up there on the 16th. So God bless and be well.